Hello, welcome to One Africa Mission with your brother Dobia Anzanse. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, One Africa Mission, and also follow us on Facebook, One Africa Mission. We are on a mission, and our mission is to fight for the unification of Africa. Our mission is to provoke the consciousness of the youth of Africa to see the benefits of unity. As we keep saying here, imagine if a country like America wasn't a united country. If the 50 states in America wasn't united, America wouldn't have been this powerful country to be dictating to other people how to live their life, especially we Africans. So in order for us to be able to stand toe to toe with these global superpowers, we must unite Africa, so that the resources of Africa, the God-given resources of Africa, will go a long way to help the children of Africa to live a better life. So please, if you really need a better Africa, then join us. Let us all together fight to see a united Africa in our lifetimes. So as a young African, there are a lot of Pan-African movement. Join one, as long as it is for the cause, it is for the unity of Africa. Join one. Let us all bring our energies together and fight for this unification of Africa. A united Africa is the only solution to the problems of Africa as we speak. So thank you very much for coming around. And so as we keep saying, our leaders, what we are doing, our works are not in vain, are not going unnoticed. Our leaders are listening to us, because we last spoke about how Africa, our leadership need to stop being invited all the time. You see Africa Summit, then the White House will invite all African leaders, 54 African leaders, and in many cases they will even select those they want to come in the name of so-called democracy. They will select those they want to come, and then they will invite us to come and talk about the solutions or the problems of Africa. Whilst as a matter of fact, those the Americans, they have more problems than we have in Africa. They have same problems that we have in Africa, and yet human rights problem, whatever problem, they have it there. Yet they will call us to come so that they will lecture us about human rights. We said it, African leaders have to stop this. And thanks to our leadership today, we heard the president of Kenya saying that they are sick and tired of those people calling them. It is only us, we Africans, 54 nations, 54 leaders. You're gonna hear Africa America Summit, Africa France Summit, Africa UK Summit, UK Africa Educational Summit, Afghanistan Africa Security Summit. And then the president of Afghanistan will call on all African leaders to come to Afghanistan. The Russia Africa Summit, Bangladesh Africa Summit. Everybody get out. They're calling on African leaders to come to their country so that they will teach us, or they will tell us how to solve the problems of Africa. Whilst, as I already said, as a matter of fact, they have more problems in their country than we have in Africa. There are homelessness in America. There are homelessness in Britain. There are homelessness everywhere in Germany, in all over Europe. And today, they are even facing economic crisis than we have in Africa. And yet, they will sit down and call all 54 leaders to come so that they will tell us how to solve the problems, or our own problems. Whilst, as a matter of fact, most of the problems that we have in Africa, they are the cause of it. So how can somebody who is causing you problems will want to solve it when they are benefiting for the crisis that we have in Africa? So please, let's go and listen to the president of Kenya. We really applaud and then respect our leaders today, the decisions that they are taking. We don't want to see them. We said it here before. We don't want to see them traveling to Europe, traveling to America, traveling to Asia, Africa, Japan Summit. We don't want to see them continue doing that. It's a disrespect to them and disrespect to the continent of Africa. So please, and it's unwise and unintelligent for 54 leaders to sit down and one particular gentleman somewhere, as the president of Kenya said, will call all of you to come so that he would decide to you or help you how to solve your own problems. So please, let's listen to the president of Kenya, and then I come back to analyze what he said.
We have these meetings, Africa, US meeting, Africa, Europe, Africa, Turkey, Africa,
India.
Now we are waiting for, there is another one, Africa, Russia.
And Africa, Japan.
And Africa, Japan. We have made the decision that it is not intelligent for 54 of us to go and sit before one gentleman from another place.
Yes, so as you can see, he was this was so brilliant. I really like the way Africa is going now. It's you know, it's give you pride to see when leaders, when your leaders speak like this. When you see leadership talking like this, it gives you pride as a citizen of the continent, you know. And all this, we can achieve all this if we unite as African people. As he said, how can a 54 countries, how come the African Union cannot provide $84 million for Sudan, for Somalia? Was, as a matter of fact, what the imperialists, those who are exploiting Africa, what they are making out of even Somalia is more than what they want to give to us. 84 million, and African Union cannot provide it for Africa, for Somalia. African leadership cannot provide it for Somalia. We are waiting for European Union to come and then give us 84 million. What even an individual in Africa can give Somalia 84 million? And yet we are waiting. And as Mo Ibrahim said, we don't respect ourselves, our institutions, and as long as you don't respect yourself, nobody else will respect you. All this disrespect that is going on among the citizens of Africa all over the world. If you are traveling as an African, nobody respects you. It is because we as African people, we do not respect our own selves. If as a leader, you don't respect the institutions that you created, and that is the African Union, if you don't respect it, who else gonna respect you? So it is about time we respect the institutions that we created to govern ourselves. And if we respect it, if we respect our leadership, our leadership will be respected outside of Africa. And as long as Africa is respected, then the citizens of Africa will be respected. All over the world, the European is respected. Why? Because Europe is respected. All over the world, wherever you find the American citizen, you respect the American citizen. Purposely because America is respected. As we speak today, 40 years ago, Chinese citizens were not respected. But today, because of the position China has been able to place herself in geopolitics of this world, today citizens of China is respected everywhere you find them. And that is exactly what we are demanding from ourselves as African people. Nobody is going to respect us until we respect ourselves. And just as Mo Ibrahim said, let us put value on the African Union. Let us put value on our own institutions. As long as we value what we have, other people will value us. But as long as we continue to carry ourselves running to Europe, running to Asia, running to Afghanistan, seeking for loans and help, they will never respect us. Look at what the Kenyan president said. This happened in London during the Queen's funeral. They invited world leaders, and you didn't see them boss any particular leaders in one in one boss, but you see them boss African leaders. That was the lowest that they could do to us. That was the most disrespectful thing that they could ever did to us as African people. So in a nutshell, they were telling us that you mean nothing. And if your leadership mean nothing, what about you, the citizens? If they can do this to our leaders, what about we, the citizens? So I keep saying, we, the citizens of Africa, we must put value on our leaders. Just as this Kenyan president is saying, leaders like this should be protected, because anytime an African leader is calling for an independent Africa, they will come for him. And in many cases, we, the citizens of those countries, will betray these leaders. It is about time we stand with our leaders. I keep saying it. It isn't that our leaders don't know what to do, or they don't know the right thing. They know the right thing. They want to do the right thing, but they are just as human as me and you. And they can see historically, what leaders who think like them, what the imperialists have done to them. Just recently, we saw what happened to Magufuli. We saw what happened to Gaddafi. We saw what happened to Patrice Lumumba. We saw what happened to Thomas Sankara. It's countless. And these were leaders who stand up and said, we want to see a better Africa. And what did we see? These same people who come to Africa and they are lecturing us about human rights and human whatever, they came for them. Why? Because they know if they come, we the citizens will compromise with them to assassinate our leaders. It is about time we bring an end to that and stand behind our leaders who want to see a progressive Africa. It is a new day for Africa. And we, the citizens of Africa, must support our leaders. Our leaders want to do, they love Africa just as we are, just as any one of us. They also love Africa. And they want to do good for Africa. But in many cases, their hands are tied. But if they know that we, the citizens of Africa, will support them, we will stand behind them, we will not betray them when the Western world come for them, then they will be bold enough to stand for Africa. Just as this the Kenyan president is saying, we will not allow ourselves to be disrespected anymore. We will not allow ourselves to be gathered and put in a bus in the name of going to somebody's funeral. If you will not respect us, we will not come. Because you need us more than we need you. You need us more than we need you. But anytime that we give you the opportunity, what do? You disrespect us. But it is about time we bring an end to it. And as the Kenyan leader said, it is unwise, it is unintelligent for 54 leaders to wake up and say we are going to Japan for help. What can Japan do to help our continent? We cannot continue to celebrate mediocrity. $60 million, $600 million. Because of $600 million, America will ask all African leaders to come to Africa. And the question we keep asking, how much is America taking from Africa in daily basis? Whilst because of $600 million, then they will call all of us. How much are they taking out of Congo in a daily basis? How much are they taking out of Zambia in a daily basis? How much are they taking out of Zimbabwe in a daily basis? Ghana, Sudan, Somalia. How much are they taking in a daily basis? Nigeria. And yet, they will call on us, all of us, to gather in America, in Russia, so that they will give us loans, or so that they will teach us how to solve the problems of Africa. We thank our leadership for waking up to the realization that the problems of Africa is not in the hands, or the solutions to the problems of Africa is not in the hands of anybody but we, the Africans. We thank our leadership, and then we encourage them, and then we are promising them we will stand behind you. Make the difficult decisions for Africa. We will stand behind you to see a better Africa, because a better Africa is not only for you, the leaders, but for we, the children or the citizens of Africa as well. So we thank you very much for coming around, and then we really thank our leadership. Bravo to the president of Kenya and all the African leaders who are ready to stand and then bring a change to our beautiful mother continent of Africa. Thank you very much for coming around. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join our movement, One Africa Mission. Join the mission. Let us all see a united Africa and a better Africa for all the children of Africa, both at home and in abroad. Thank you very much for coming around.